Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the shop. Today, continuing on work on cleaning up and fixing up the Monarch. I'm working on the drain pan or the catch sump for the feed for the coolant. So trying to get it fixed up. It was, for some reason, it's been bent up. I don't know how they possibly could have got the forks into it and messed it up, but anyway, it is. So you gotta try to get it beat down back halfway level like it's supposed to be. And I've been cleaning the junk out of it. It's just as messy as the main sump was. Trying to get this thing cleaned down where I can put some cleaner in it for getting ready to put coolant in it to try and clean things out, and also helps do some corrosion protection. So, and to find out if the pump and all that stuff's gonna work too. So let's take a look at what I got going on back there and see what it can do to get it fixed. Also, I've cleaned some more on the waves, so it's looking a lot better as far as that goes. Getting the rust cleaned off. So more better. It's also got both the lights on, or the covers. They sent me the one that they shorted me, so got them on and working. Then back here I've got the cover off of the sump, and you can probably see that there's a bow up in it right in that area. So I need to try and get that down and try and get those areas that are stuck out of the way back up against the machine as best I can. So I'll try and do a little heat straightening on them with the torch, maybe shorten them up, tighten them up, where chips have been packed in behind them and they've been bowed out. So that's the pickup tube that goes over in it. Not really sure why it's come off there. I assume the screws fell out or they've broke off when I was traversing this thing. I don't know, I'll have to find out. So just something else to fix, but for now I'm concentrating on this pan. I've had all the screws out and had it away from the side and cleaned out the goo and stuff. As those vents are to let the excess coolant flow back into the pan is their intention. So I got them cleaned out where they can flow again, because they were all stopped plumb full of junk. Well, I like to think it gets a little closer all the time. You can see the spots there that I heat straightened to get the bow out and get that piece back up against the side of the bed, so maybe not so many chips will collect back in there. And I've got this pushed down and straightened out down through there as best I can. Not looking too bad. So I did put some water in this, and I got two holes. I got a patch down there. That's all to hold right now. Anything more than that and it runs out, I got to pull this pump cover back off to where I can get in there and try and get that sealed. And at the same time I'm working on this trough up here that is like Swiss cheese in the bottom from not running enough anti-corrosion stuff in their coolant. I don't have any in here right now, but that's just because I'm welding on it. Once I get done welding on it, I'm gonna try and put some cleaner in here and get this sump cleaned up so I can get it drained out and get it ready for coolant. But that's that for right now. The main deal is I gotta get the welder down here and start patching holes on this end. Everywhere where there's a white mark, like there, there's water running out of the bottom of the trough. So I can get the welder down here and start patching those places. And then I can test it again. By design, this should fill up all the way down, and then the excess should overflow out of those holes down there right now it won't even fill up that far because there's more water running out than the pump's pumping in. So also down here somewhere under the foot, I don't know if it's just because the seals aren't down or I haven't crawled under there and looked yet, but there's water pouring out on the floor down there and it floods this into the shop. So I got to address that issue too, find out where that leak's coming from. So I'll get at it and bring you back. I can't really show you much here on this because I can't hardly see it, so I'm sure you probably can't either, but it's not looking too bad down through there right now as far as getting it back straight. Lots of heating and lots of beating. So get back at it. Well, I've gone from about 30 leaky holes to about 3. Might be able to see the water draining out there. So still got a couple holes to patch there on that end, but otherwise got it pretty good. So it's going to take a little while for that trough to drain out through that little hole. So while it's doing that, I'm going to go over here and work on the pump switch for the carriage, since I haven't had that working yet. Other than that, everything else on here has worked. So I got a new one of those. Let's change it out. Okay, so while I'm waiting for the water to drain out, I'm going to try and replace all these switches. I've got some new old stock ones off eBay, and just if I can't swap them out. So these are a little different than the ones that are in it, but I think it'll still hook up the same. So let's get into it. Start with this pump switch. I'll just tighten up all of the tabs that won't be used. Only use 2 poles for this. Alright, that's got the coolant one replaced. Let's swap out these forward reverse. All the wires on the same terminals they came off of, and shouldn't have any problems here. Well, there's the new switches installed. The coolant pump is not working. There's a wiring problem with that I gotta track into. When I trip the switch, the clutch that disengages the hand wheel kicks in, and then it throws the breaker and it cuts back out instead of it starting to pump. So something is either shorted in the wiring or there's a problem over on the contactor side. So I'll have to check into that and see what I can find. This is something else to fix. Well, I'd like to report that I got this one whipped and got this coolant tray where I want it, but it's not even close. I've spent probably 6 hours or so going through trying to weld up all the pinholes that are in it, and it leaks probably as bad now. The more I clean on it, the more holes that come in it. So I'll have to just pull it clear off the back of the lathe and get it out to where I can flip the thing over upside down and get at it good with the grinder and welder and see if I can't patch it up. I'm gonna have to cut sections clear out of it and weld in new pieces. And it's just in that sad of a shape after being jammed up, and then over the years of all the coolant that's been in it and everything else, it's just got a lot of corrosion, and it's not in good shape. And I've got a lot straighter looking anyway than it was when I started. If I had access to a big giant metal brake, I might would just try and bend up some new pieces, but I don't have such a thing. So fixing up what I got is probably gonna be the best option for me. So until next time, I'm gonna keep plugging away in here in the shop and try and get some more interesting content for you guys and what this lathe has been. I mean, to me, this is kind of boring watching somebody fix all this stuff. It's just stuff that has to be done. There's not really anything exciting or innovative about how to do it, I don't think. So can't really share any tips or tricks with that, other than if you've got something that's rusted out and in bad shape, you should probably not waste your time trying to fix it and just go ahead and scrap it and build a new one. No doubt, even if I get this fixed, probably in the future, 20 or 30 years from now, it's gonna rust back out and they're gonna be right back in the same place. Although I tend to run a heavier concentration of my coolant of oil in order to, emulsified oil, in order to try and prevent corrosion as much as possible. That's the #1 enemy here in this shop as far as stuff goes, is corrosion. Everything always constantly getting wet, and coolant run on it and sweating from the temperature changes, and just 80–90% humidity just about year round, so that doesn't help either. So thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, I'll catch y'all later.